Hello and welcome to the Earth to Marissa podcast, where we share stories of personal growth and development for your spiritual awakenings. Today we have an amazing guest on the show. We have a galactic healer, channel, and spiritual mentor known for his unique ability to bridge higher realm intelligence with practical, grounded transformation. Through Arcturian work, galactic healing, and advanced energetic activation, Jai Brady creates spaces where people experience deep remembrance, inner clarity, and rapid energetic recalibration. Welcome to the show, Jai.
Oh, what a lovely introduction. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited for you to be here. You do a lot of Arcturian work, a lot of galactic work, and for those who do not know you, could you at first just describe a little bit about yourself and what you do in the spiritual alien realm?
Yeah, so basically, in a nutshell, I help people discover who they really are. We go through some pretty awesome transformations, which is lovely to see. I've taken a lot of people's pain away. I have helped with a lot of different things that I don't know how much I can say on this podcast.
Go for it.
There's only so much you can say on social media, but in general. But so maybe don't use this if you're doing marketing for the pod. But in a nutshell, I help people to heal pretty significantly. So it's quite a blessing. And just as you touched on before, I have a lot of help from the Arcturians. So I've been working with them. It's not just them. I deal with a whole conglomerate of different races, but predominantly the Arcturians because I have Arcturian lineage, basically.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful. I can't wait to dive in. Before we go there, though, I always like to ask everyone, what's an affirmation or a self-care routine that you've been working with lately that's been helping you?
Okay. So a lot of people don't know this, but I used to suffer pretty significantly with anxiety, right? So something that I use as a self-care routine, and it's so simple but so powerful to me. So I don't know if you can see, but I've got these whatever you would want to call them, necklaces that hang around my heart, right? So the reason that they are, it really doesn't matter what they are. They're crystals and whatever, but they're there over my heart. And the reason that they're there is because when I'm in that state, when I get into that state, and I'm not, immune to that these days, it still happens, operate a business. It's going to happen from time to time. It sits over my heart, so I can, without touching it, I know that it's touching my heart. So I can place my attention on it, and that's bringing my focus inwards. And then it calms me down and helps me get through. So that's effective. Whenever anyone sees me with this stuff on, it's not because of the fancy crystals that it has or whatever, and they're pretty cool.
The aesthetic, it's not for aesthetic purposes.
Not for the copper, like it kind of is for the copper, but also not for the copper, just because it's sit over my heart.
And what is it about heart connection for you that really helps with the anxiety?
It's really just going inward, so if you can go inward and place your attention on your heart, then that gets rid of your mind being in the future. And when your mind's in the future, that's what anxiety is. It's this is going to happen, or can't wait for this to happen, or hope this doesn't happen. It's just your mind thinking of the future. Conversely, your mind thinking of the past is depression, right? So what you want to do is, I'm not telling anything new here, but what you want to do is obviously be as present as possible, because in that present moment, there's no such thing as anxiety and there's no such thing as depression. And if you can sit in that heart space and feel gratitude, it is impossible for you to feel any other emotion but gratitude at that time. So the more that you can do that and be present and grounded, then the more life opens up for you. Because in that present moment, Marissa, that's when the healing happens. That's when the activations happen. That's when the magic happens, So, fundamentally, I help, amongst other things, people to be present for that reason.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can only create from the present moment. So if we are anywhere else, we aren't creating our future, or we're maybe trying to create it from an icky energy.
Yeah, correct. So there's a half truth there. You can create outside of the present moment, but you're not going to get what you created. You're going to get what's aligned with that anxiety, that ill feeling.
Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful.
So that's a beautiful message for everyone to have, actually. If they can take one thing out of this pod, it's that. So
yes,
yeah,
present
and create from that present moment.
Absolutely. And I would love to dive in to kind of your cosmic awakening first off. So you said you have Arcturian lineage. How did you come to this realization, and when did you first connect with alien star races?
Okay, so for this story, I'll have to take you all the way back. So this is, I believe it or not, a very long time ago.
Okay.
My partner at the time was very sick mentally. So I had chronic depression, on all sorts of medication, and we could not get answers, or correct. We were out of options in the medical profession, right? And this is a long time before I knew anything about spirituality. So I took her to this energy healer who's a Reiki practitioner. And took her there. I didn't know what that was, but I thought we've got to try something. Took her there, waited for her, brought her home, and when I took her home, she slept for 2 days.
Wow.
2 days straight. I could only wake her to feed her. She'd go straight back to sleep. And when she woke up after the second day, she was off all medication with 0 side effects. And as you probably know, if you come off those sorts of crazy meditation, you get all the brain zaps. You get it's pretty hardcore. So she's a completely different person. So I'm like, I've got to get me some of that. So off I trot down there, and nothing that I thought was wrong with me, but I want to see what this sorcery was. And as soon as I got there, she sat me down and she said, you're a healer too, right? And I'm like, what?
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't even know you were, but anyway,
Sounds good.
So she's a lovely person. And then she started outlining points in my life, which I just thought were normal, but were in retrospect were different or out of the ordinary, right? Well, unique is probably a better word. So a couple of those examples were when I was in school, I used to pick up a pen and write like the last person that had that pen that was using it, right? So like just a spare pen, I pick it up, I'd be writing and it'd be their handwriting. And I'd be like, that's Tom's pen. And I'd give it, like it never come up in conversation. Like it's not something you bring up at lunchtime. So I just thought that everyone did it. I just thought, you must have just left the energy in the pen. Like I didn't know. So so she's like, so that's weird. It's not normal. I'm like, okay.
I hate to break it to you, but
And a long time ago, I actually used to live in Scotland. I went and lived there for a year, right? You know how, when you get old enough, you go abroad. All us Aussies do anyway. So I had to say goodbye to my granddad. He had stage 4 cancer. It was all through his body. He had 3 months to live, and I was gone for a year, so it was goodbye. Anyway, so that's pretty hard. I think I was, 20, something like that. And every day I prayed when I got there. Like, I'm not a religious person, never have been, didn't know who I was praying to, but I prayed every night, and for, I think it was 12 nights, he went in for some routine thing, and they said, the cancer's all gone. It's not there anymore. It's just miraculous. And I remember thinking, oh God, he must have got his diet right. Like I didn't know. Like, so so anyway, I'd lived in Scotland for a year, come back and saw him plenty of times, and never really gave it a second thought other than that. And she's like, that was you as well. And then in the next breath, she said, you should do my Reiki course. And I'm like, here's the upsell. But I did it anyway because it felt light, So I did it, and it was Reiki 1 and 2 in the one course, which I never taught that way to my students, but for some reason it worked out well for me. But in that course, and I don't do Reiki anymore, but in that course, there was a attunement. I don't know if you've ever done a Reiki course.
Yeah,
That you
I'm
have.
certified.
Everyone in the dog has done
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
there was an attunement, and in that attunement, I felt energy in my arms, like all up through my arms and even up to my shoulders, that stayed, and I'd never felt energy before, that stayed in my arms for 3 months. Like,
wow.
yeah, it was full on. I had to like literally shake it off. Like, I've come to work out that that's why I had to do Reiki 1 and 2, because Reiki 2, as you know, is distance healing, because I had no one to really work on. So I was sending people, and I don't suggest this either, but I was sending energy to people who had, you know, lots of people with stage 4 cancer with all these problems, and they were all getting better, and they didn't even know that I was doing it. They were just, like they might have family members that knew that I was doing it, because that's how I knew that they had the issue. But and I'll be getting message after message going, you know, doctors are saying that this is just miraculous, and whatever has happened is just defies all the odds. It's unbelievable. It's like, oh, it's awesome. So when I was in the course, everyone was doing energy healings on because you know how you have to do swaps in the course, with their hands on the client or slightly off. I had to have my hands way up here because the energy was too strong on them. They were calling me Lightning Jai, and I thought that's pretty cool. So so I aced that, which was really fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really hard for me to talk about this stuff, Marissa, because it seems very ego-y, but I'm trying my best to get through it without. I know, but it's just an issue I have.
Your story.
Anyway, so I was doing Reiki on people for a long time and had a business doing it. And I realized after a while that I'd been doing it without even using the symbols. Like, I'd just forgotten to use them. Like, for a long time, it just never occurred to me. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. I was like, oh, well, there you go. But it wasn't until I started astral traveling, right, that I went to these different realms, these different, planets, etc., and met these different galactic beings that all wanted to work with me, and they were giving me symbols. I was like, what's going on? They'd be putting symbols in my third eye that would just like drop down to my foot, and I could see them on the top of my foot, staring down at them. I'm like, what's these symbols for? It's for this, for that. And I went to so many different places, and as it turns out, like, they all knew that I was coming, and I didn't know that I was coming, but they just know things, obviously. Yeah. And it was all agreements that prior to my incarnation that we were to work together anyway. So
wow. Yeah.
So from then on out, I've been working with them constantly, and just end up being more and more and more until I've got, probably as many as you can think of. It's a big group.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. And I used to, when people would ask me about the process and what it's like working with them, I always used to say that it was like my dad working on a car, fixing a car, and me with a toy hammer next to the car going, am I doing good, Dad? And Dad's going, yes, mate, yes. doing great.
Fabulous. Yes.
But they do not like me talking about that, saying it that way, because that takes away from what I do, because they wouldn't be able to do it without me, according to them. So so I've been working with them effectively ever since. But circling back to what you're saying about the Arcturians, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, that Arcturian connection.
Yeah, and I touched briefly on it being a lineage thing. It's probably not the right term for it. So I was in meditation one day, and an Arcturian come up to me now and stood eye to eye with me. Now, for some reason, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but for some reason, as soon as I see a galactic being and I'm face to face with them, I always do this, right? And that's my symbol, and I don't know how I come up with it. I don't know how it was there. But anyway, that's my symbol as to tell them that I mean them no harm. So I've never really been scared of them, or for some reason. I probably should have been, but I've never really had that sort of issue. But I thought they might have been scared of me for some reason. So
interesting.
And anyway, so I did that. And Arcturians, as you know, very tall, very skinny, light. But this Arcturian stood at eye level about my height, right? So presented pretty small by comparison.
Yeah.
And was face to face with me, looked at me with those big, kind eyes, right? Just so cute. It was just cute. It really was. And he said to me, must have been telepathically, are you ready for the soul swap? And I'm like, huh? So, are you ready for the soul swap? And I said, look, only if you are high vibrational being. I'm talking high.
Yeah.
And of the highest love, light, truth, and compassion. And then he gave me this smile, and then he put his hands over my hands. And then it either all went really white or really black. I don't even know. It could
both
have
at
been
the same time, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Might have been like an explosion, or it might have been nothing. I don't know. But it could have been a second, or it could have been a minute, or it could have been half an hour. I have no idea. There's no time and space, right? But when I come out of it, I promise you, I felt like a different person. Like, completely different. I had to go to the shops later to do the groceries, and it felt like I was going to the shops for the very first time. Yeah, it was so weird.
Like, what is this reality?
Like I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. There was so many different energies around me that I wasn't used to.
Wow.
That I had to get out of the shops. But you know what the funniest thing is, Marissa? I had to learn how to reverse park again. I used to pride myself on being so good at my parking, like, as any man do, especially Aussie men do. But I had to learn how to do it again. I was terrible at it.
That's hilarious.
So So within 48 hours of the soul swap, I had quit a $190,000 a year job working for Toyota as a finance manager.
Wow.
Just to do this full time, because I had to. I just had to. So, and that brings us to now. I've been doing it ever since. It's been a few years since that. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's my connection. I know you probably didn't expect an answer like that, but that's my connection to the Arcturians. Yeah.
Yes.
And what's funny is I actually had a QHHT session with Chrissy Channels. I don't know if you know Chrissy. Yeah. Yeah. So in that QHHT session, weirdly enough, I saw the soul swap experience from the Arcturian's perspective.
Wow. Yeah, I want to dive into this. I have questions. Yeah, so why... Yeah, so many questions. So was this just, a contract before this lifetime that this soul swap would happen, or was this something that kind of came about based on where your human had got? Like, give us some, information on why, that would occur.
Yeah, so... I don't know whether it's a contract signed prior. I assume that it would have been, right?
Yeah.
But upon talking to them about it, they said I would have never have made the move from Toyota without it. Yeah. Because I wanted to for so long. Yeah. Because as I said, like, I'm doing all these healings, they're all getting better, all that sort of stuff. I'm like, if I could do that sort of stuff, then shouldn't I? Back to this QHHT session with Chrissy, right? So. I actually got to see it from the Arcturian's perspective, which was so wild in itself. So I found that very interesting because I never once thought of the Arcturian's perspective. And I guess that's further confirmation that it actually swapped, and that's what happens. So, but I saw it as in he said goodbye to his family.
Oh. Wow.
And his family were off to the left from my perspective. So off to the left and up, so looking down on the whole lot. And I got to see it from their perspective as well. The soul swap, looking down as it happened. It was so cool. It was so wild. Yeah. So anyway, that's my affinity with the Arcturians, and I've been working very, very closely with them ever since. As I've found out, it's my job and purpose to help with the med beds. Apparently, in one of my past lives, I was like the chief med bed technician or whatever.
Director. Yeah.
So yeah. So, and that's why the channeling came through so strong for me to do the Arcturian Energy Hospital, which is as you know, the med bed events that I do. So
yes. And you have one this Saturday on the 21st.
I do. I actually have two this Saturday. One
UK
in the UK time zone and one in US. So yeah,
I saw that. Yeah.
So you can get to that by going to jaibrady.com/Arcturian Energy Hospital, or just jaibrady.com/links and you'll find it. But yeah. So you've been to that. You mentioned that you've been to one of at least one of the Arcturian Energy Hospitals.
Yes, I actually I've been to one on my own, or where it was just you, and then there was one where Chrissy was there. And I don't know her personally, but I've seen her around. Or I think it was a healing that you and Chrissy did, but the med beds were a part of the session. But
was it the Lionsgate event?
I don't think so. We were setting up the med bed to like our actual bed. Like our physical bed, and I don't think it was Lionsgate. It was sometime last year, but it was very powerful.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, it was just an event I did just myself and Chrissy.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I don't think it had the Arcturian Hospital, but they were included.
For anyone who doesn't know, I have the replay of that very same event in my Patreon, which is Activation Station. You can check it out there.
Yeah, it was amazing. The energy you feel when you are laying in one of the beds is just so serene.
It really is, yeah. So I implore that if anyone goes to Arcturian Energy Hospital to wear headphones, because it adds to the experience. It's very, very visceral with the type of music that goes on in there. Well, music's probably not the right word, but sounds that...
frequencies.
It's really cool. Really cool. So I'd hold them once a month. For anyone who doesn't know. The channeling came through very strong for that. And the way that the Arcturians sold it to me was it is a way of doing a group healing for people that is so individual and personalized that it's like a one-on-one. So it's about setting your intention and receiving for anything you want. It's just such a cool experience.
Yeah. And how do the beds pick up on the individual needs? Because I have also worked with a lot of Arcturian healing technology, and it really does seem like the technology just intuitively knows what you need, or if a being is manning it, they can basically tap in. But have they shared anything about that technology with you?
Yeah, so the med beds themselves, they have their own consciousness, much like the ships do, right? So it can align vibrationally to you to basically map out the vibration of your body with, recording the imperfections as per your intention, and I guess fix things frequency wise through that way. So. What's funny about the medbed events is, from a logistic point of view, they're very similar. Each event, like, I run through the same process for everyone, right? Because that's what I was told to do. But the experience each time, like, I have people that do it every single month religiously, right? And they say that every single time that they do it, it's something very different and more profound.
Wow.
I had one person say that they were speaking to Gaia in it, and just suddenly knew, like, the history of Gaia. Wow. Like, what?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah. It's just some crazy activating going on.
And
it's so much bigger than I would have ever thought.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
absolutely. No, I feel like all of this is, right? It's so much bigger than us, and it's helping us to realize that there's a lot more out there, guys. There's a lot more on the healing and medical front specifically, but also in the universe. There's way more than we know. But for someone who is maybe like tapping slowly into their channel, maybe they get some visuals or but they haven't channeled yet, do these events accelerate that tapping in? Because I know when I started to tap into the healing technologies, it felt like everything really started to accelerate quicker for me. And I had been channeling for years, but it changed. Just like you, I had an experience where I had to learn everything again from a new level of consciousness. I felt like a newborn baby. So I would
and
love
it'll
to
keep
know.
happening again, because that's just the trajectory that we're on. Because as you keep raising your vibration, you keep aligning with different possibilities and timelines and outcomes, right? So that's why when I do one-on-one sessions with people, I'm literally raising their vibration, but I don't want to just raise it and then not hear from them again for 6 months or whatever. I want to raise it and then either keep it there or keep raising it, right? So they've got enough time to manifest those sorts of things that they want. It's all about intention as well. But if I can have them for a while, have enough time to manifest, and I'm not talking active manifestation, I'm talking about law of attraction stuff, the stuff you don't have to think about, that just like your health and your love and your abundance and all that sort of stuff, that is your birthright. It's just raising your vibration to that frequency where it can come to you. So
Exactly.
but to circle back to your question, the energy hospital, the med beds themselves, absolutely, because A, it's about the intention, and B, it's about the frequency. So for example, you have sat with people before that are a very high frequency, right? And what that does is that brings your frequency up. In my one-on-ones, they're a little bit different to how you would probably work, or at least you used to work with Reiki, right? With Reiki, sometimes you would bring your vibration down to the client so you can send them energy. But I keep my vibration very high and bring them up. So when that vibration is that high, then that's how they can activate those sorts of gifts and those things that can happen to them. And that's how they spontaneously heal and those things. It's all from the raising in vibration.
And you keep throwing out the word intention, and I feel like in the spiritual community, some people know what it is, some people hear it, and I feel like we have a baseline understanding. But what is intention for you in these scenarios when working with galactic beings, or even meditating or healing? What is intention for you?
So intention is nothing if you're not sovereign. So if you're not standing in your own power, it's really, really important to know that you are the only person in the game. So you're the only playable character in the game, in this whole game of life, right? Everybody else is a background character, is the non-playable characters, right? So you're the only player in the game. So with your intention, that's how you move forward. So it's not focusing on what that background character thinks of me, how much of an awesome lifestyle that background character has, and the envy that I have of that their situation. You're the only playable character. It's your game, So once you realize that, can really grasp it, and therefore stand in your power and not worry about what other people think, then that's when you're in a position that when you state your intention, it's more of a declaration, right? You're telling the universe that this is what needs to happen. That this is what you're commanding to happen. And that opens up a whole new doorway. So
becoming the creator of your reality.
Correct. Yes. It's going from the victim to the creator. Yes. Very important to know.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, especially with the energetics of our universe. That is how it happens. And that's where the aliens are vibrating in. They are just constant manifestation. We can't even fathom how it occurs. They can think and then it's there. And I've seen a lot of visuals.
At no stage are they in victim mode. So if we can be more like them, then you would start with us with every thought. It always starts with us. With every thought that we have, are we the victim in that thought, or are we the creator in that thought? So it's easier said than done. Like I get it.
Absolutely.
But the more you can do that, the more that you can train yourself to be in that state.
Absolutely.
And that's when the world really opens up beautifully to you. Yeah.
And for those that are listening that are in, maybe the spiritual closet or the alien closet, and they haven't quite shared, they're scared to talk about it. You said, you are the only playable character, and you are you do best when you're not worrying about everyone else and worrying about what other people think. How did you get to that level of awareness? Was it like a switch that you just turned on, or has it been a slow process of just releasing all of that? I think there's a lot of standards, I know here in America, especially for people in a narrative, of a society narrative. How have you broken out of that?
Okay. So let me give you an example. When I was working out of a office doing, I taught many people Reiki because I'm a Reiki master teacher. Like I taught many people up to masters, right? And for a lot of them, we had a experience Reiki day. I put on experience Reiki day, and so everyone in town could come and just experience it and see what it's like, and just to break the stigma and all that sort of stuff, and raise awareness. Right? Simple as. This is a long time ago. Now, when I was midway through doing that, I had the owner of the business come up to me and said, "You should go live on Facebook and tell people about it to get more people in." And the moment that she said that, my heart sank. I'm like, being seen on like, I can't do that. No way. Yeah. And she said, "Do you think anybody's got enough time to care about how you look or how you're presenting yourself or how you talk? Yeah. They're all dealing with their own shit." And I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
True.
So I still didn't do it. And I thought, I missed an opportunity here, and I was really feeling bad about it and kicking myself. So I believe it was the next week, might not be, but very close to it. I went live on Facebook for the first time. I think it was a full moon event, and doing live group healings for everyone, right? And I got so many people with so much gratitude, right? Which, as you know, when you're channeling and you're getting yeses, it keeps the channel open. And it's such an easy experience. And then I thought that if I could do this and everybody is getting better, then shouldn't I do it? And what's funny is somebody said this to me as well. They said, how do they term it? So someone once said to me, and further clarify the situation, is because I was making all these people get better, not only should I do it, but I have an obligation to do it, right? So much so that if I let something like fear stand in my way, then I am being selfish. Yeah. She said, "How selfish are you being right now?" And I'm like, "Oh, that hurt. That really hurt." It. That's the dagger. It had to get to me, right? So, and I'm like, yeah, because there's people all over the world that would not get access to me today if I'd have just rested on that fear, if I'd have stopped in that fear and didn't do it. So when it's feel the fear and do it anyway, it really is feel the fear and do it anyway. I have that on my vision board this year. And so everyone should. So because on the other side of that is so liberating. It really changed my whole trajectory just by doing that. Yeah. So everybody can catch me anywhere on all social media, or like mostly TikTok and Epic Studios, but also Facebook and Insta, going live, doing group healings for everyone, which I do quite often. So and constantly live in my Patreon. So I do live healings, like intention-based healings for everyone in Patreon every week. So what happens is they they come in and they just write their intention, and I work through the whole list. I don't stop until it's done, for as long as it takes. How long does that take you? Well, sometimes 2 hours. Oh my gosh. To so cool. Run through everyone, but yeah, it's in like a come and go event for them, so they don't have to stay through the whole lot. They could just receive when they want it, and then just go, in some cases, back to bed because it's at a time that's not convenient for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it tends to be a US prime time and probably less prime for UK. It's like the middle of the night or something, but I still get a lot of UK and Europe people just tuning in for it. So.
Oh, that's amazing. It's so cool to, when you break through that fear, you start to attract the community that's for you. You start to attract the same frequency people. And if you're looking around and you feel alone, well, I invite you, where are you holding back? Where are you not being yourself? Where are you not taking that next step? Because it's in that next step that you attract everything.
Yeah, so by breaking through that fear, and you're right in what you're saying, by breaking through that fear, effectively it's releasing trauma. And what that's doing is further raising your vibration. And then you're just bringing in people, because people, places, things, situations, all that sort of stuff, that are aligned with that new vibration. And you just keep stepping up each time. And a byproduct is people and places and things in the old vibration, they no longer resonate. And they go in a multitude of ways, but you just keep leveling up. It's how it works.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because you felt the fear and you did it anyway.
Amen. There we go. So when you are doing group healing and like you're going through the list of intentions, what does that look like for you? Do you have like an Arcturian team with you that's helping you to channel energy, or is it just you as your Arcturian self, like channeling energy towards that intention?
Are you talking about the med beds themselves?
No, I'm talking about the Patreon healing where people put in their intention and
So what happens there? They'll say the intention, and I've got this energetic tool that not only have the Arcturians given to me, that I have given to people through attunements. So I can attune people to Arcturian energy as well, and I do in my galactic healing courses. But what it is, right, is it looks like a pendulum. So it's got this red rope, this thing, circle at the top, and it's got this like little cone piece at the bottom, which is a metal, but it's not a type of metal that's from Earth. It's just like this different metal, right? And what happens is I can put it over an area. So let's say that you're in pain right now. Let's say you have pain in your shoulder and that was your intention. I can put it over an area, visualize it going into the area, and then like I see that pain and I feel that pain, but I see that pain as like a black dust or soot or dirt. Do you know what I mean? Like I see that. And when I put that pendulum, the energetic device in, it magnetizes all that gunk, magnetizes to the pendulum, and I'm literally just visualizing pulling it out, clearing it with the elements. So it could be wind, it could be water, whatever, and then repeating the process until it is not there anymore, and people are like, "Oh my god, I'm pain free."
Okay.
And teach people to do
amazing.
the exact same thing. Yeah, it's so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I can still feel it when they first gave it to me. They put it in my hand, and I can feel it like it's a marble in my hand. Like
interesting,
it's
like an implant, a literal
it is an
implant.
Yeah.
And that experience, do they usually tell you when you always have to confirm like, yes, I'm okay with receiving this, or do they just kind of do things to your body? I know
they just do things to my body.
Yeah. Okay.
They do. So they've got quite often, like I'll be lying in bed and they'll be, you know how you feel like you stepped on a rock, but you're lying in bed, right? It's like this pinprick or something. You're like, what is, and the pain leaves as quick as it comes. But I used to think, what the hell is that? What's going on? But it's them. They're just DNA tinkerers. So
poking around.
Very good. Yeah. And I've got nothing but trust for them. So and love. So
And that's probably why you have more of those experiences where they just are able to do, because you're in full surrender with that energy. Yeah.
So what happens when I put that pendulum in is it's not just pulling out the pain, right? It's pulling out traumas. It's pulling out any dense energy, right?
Yeah.
But that's just me. And remember, there's more than just me working on them. So with every physical issue, So let's say that there is a pain in their shoulder, right? There is a spiritual and emotional component to it. Now, I could sit there all day and only release the physical, but it's going to keep coming back because we haven't dealt with the spiritual and emotional. Now, the weird thing is the spiritual and emotional component might be in a completely different part of the body, but that's where the Arcturians or the Pleiadians or the Andromedans or the LSI Avians, all those sorts of beings, that's where they could be in different parts of the body. So quite often people go, oh, yeah, my shoulder feels better, but I felt it down in my solar plexus, or I felt it it's because it's pulling traumas out of there. And,
yeah, absolutely. That speaks to, just how important emotional healing is for the physical body. And is that really what they are trying to get at? Like, what is their intention with helping humans heal their physical body? Is it to just, at the root cause, heal the trauma on the planet?
Yeah, correct. So they are all about healing the trauma on the planet.
Yeah.
You know that as well as I do. I know that you work a lot with the Arcturians, but their issue is they cannot infringe on our free will, right? So we might have a pain in our body. They might want to fix it so bad, so bad, but they can't if you don't ask. And that's why it's so important to set that intention. That's why the med beds work so well. We're setting the intention. They're like, yes, we can do this now. Finally. Yes. Yeah. And that's why the one-on-one sessions are exactly the same. So my one-on-one sessions, when I have them, is a lot about the talking prior, a lot about people feeling safe and comfortable to be able to state, so we can get to what their real intention is, right?
Yeah.
And then it's all surrender, and we just have at it, and next thing you know,
it's town.
Yeah. So it's a really fun and visceral experience.
Absolutely. And when you are pulling that energy, you said you clear it with the elements. And I really love this because, water, fire, air, earth, it's incredibly powerful to work with the elements because we are of earth and even in the universe. How can people work with the elements to start healing maybe on their own? Because you said maybe the wind will blow on it and it clears it, but in an earthly, like physical way, how can people, have you seen, work with these elements?
For sure. In my healings, it is just as much. So don't get me wrong, when I'm talking about these galactic races, it is just as much about working with Gaia and the elements of Gaia as it is. For example, with every single one-on-one session that I do, I begin with opening after protecting the space and all that sort of stuff and the intentions. I begin by clearing out their Earth Star chakra, and then it's like completely clearing out, so it opens and strengthens their connection to the Earth's magnetic crystalline grids and the mycelium network.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of work on the mycelium network, but anyway, so effectively I do that. So the energy, the love, all that sort of stuff that could filter right up into them, pull everything out, but also just moving forward, create this beautiful filtration system, right? So so I'm always coming up first from the Earth before going down through the galactic gateway, which do you know what the galactic gateway is?
Yeah.
So basically it's for anyone who doesn't know, it's when I open and activate the galactic chakra, which is 2 chakras above your crown, and then open and activate the with symbols and things, the soul star, which is just above your crown, and then the crown as well. So those 3, it's effectively like opening a funnel. So you've got this, I guess, channel of energy and information in this funnel, and we are effectively like pulling it wider and wider and wider, so you can bring in more energy and information and stuff. So but anyway, to circle back to what you were saying about the elements, so visualization works tremendously, works more than people realize. So you can use the natural wind, or you can visualize the wind literally clearing your body, and it will be clearing your body. And you know why? Because that's your intention. And as long as you've got that belief system supporting it, then it's exactly what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. The same thing with fire. you do it with a violet flame, for example, right? That's fire.
Yeah.
So, or I use the dragons as well, and they use fire.
Yes.
So, that's brilliant for clearing, and you can visualize all that as well. Like, people think imagination is just making shit up.
It's like, no, that's channeling, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's you literally controlling your life in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that you're mentioning the visual aspect of everything because, right, imagination, people that have an overactive imagination, they just have probably an overactive third eye and they're able to see things, but it does bring it into a bit more of like a tangible way of healing or experiencing even meditation. I guide my clients through like trance-channeled meditations and like hypnotic meditations for healing, and then the galactics come in and the visuals just help add to the experience. They help grow and expand the experience. And when you can actually like see your body through your mind's eye and walk along during the experience with the person facilitating it, it really is enhanced experience rather than just lay there and do nothing and I will do it. Like when they are participating, it's just that much stronger.
Oh yeah, mate. I've had somebody in so much fear about everything, right? Yeah. That was their intention. They wanted to release the fear. They didn't want to feel fear anymore, and it's fair enough. And I did a healing on them, and in that healing, they died. Like not physically, but they died. They passed over. Yes. And they saw on the other side just how beautiful it felt, like home. It felt, all those things that you hear, there's so much love, there's so much gratitude. Everyone was just so happy and it just felt so safe and warm. And oh my God, it's so good. Now that person now doesn't fear death, right? So if you don't fear death, and death is the worst case scenario for anyone who is fearing anything, then really she doesn't fear anything anymore.
Exactly.
So I would have never have thought in a million years that that's how they would do it, but they did it. So,
right. I'm often mind blown at like what they bring through for specific healing. It's just like, oh yeah, I never would have thought of that specific thing that you brought there. Yeah. That's amazing. And you talked about the mycelial network. I want to hear a little more about this because I have tapped in and it's wild tapping into when you're standing in a forest and tapping into the network and feeling everything. But as far as healing and connecting to earth, I would love to hear your experience with that. So in regards to the mycelial network, there's only so much that I can bring up at this point in time. I would love to bring up more. But there is a lot of things that in regards to that process that they haven't really given me the okay to talk about just yet. Oh yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah. But there's been activating basically the mycelial network. And what I didn't know is for anyone who doesn't know what the mycelial network is, it's the mushrooms, right? So, the fungi all over the world, all over Earth, communicate with each other through consciousness. Every single one of them communicates with each other through this consciousness. And it was about activating dormant things that have been suppressed for a long time. Without going too much into it, there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff involved. But you're going to see a lot of differences very soon. I'm sure, with everything arising on the planet. And do you talk a lot about the ascension that's taking place? And because I know I've seen you talk a lot about just the physical healing and the med bed stuff, but as far as the ascension and how things are changing on the earth, how does that relate to the galactics coming in and starting to help us heal everything? I mean, they've been doing it for many years, but I think it's hitting a new widespread awareness, and new people are. You touched on the right thing there, and that is awareness, right? So they've been doing it for the longest time, but the difference is our awareness now. We're in a different place with different energy, and therefore our awareness has shifted more. So a lot of people think that The galactics are coming to save us. A lot of people think that we're only here for ourselves and we will only save ourselves. No one's coming to save us. The answer lies somewhere in the middle, because they are coming to us through channeling, through dreams, at least to begin, through lots of different mediums, to assist in every way that they can right now, to get us used to and acclimatized to their presence effectively. Yeah. So soon enough,
and their frequency, I'm sure.
Their frequency, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and then soon enough, you'll start to, like, you've seen ships, like most people now have seen ships. If you look up in the sky for long enough, you will see one tonight. It's just something that happens right now, and that's all by design. And then you'll see them getting a bit closer and a bit closer, and then it'll be, over our shores, but just far enough out of the distance where we cannot swim to them, cannot reach them. You'll just get used to their presence being there, and then it'll go from there. So, that'll be soon. That'll be soon.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Have they given you a timeline, or have you seen a timeline specifically, or do you just know that it's just happening at a fast rate?
I think you'll start seeing ships permanently lodged in our oceans somewhere between 2027 and 2030, I imagine.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
2030, it'll be absolutely unmistakable. Yeah. We'll live in a very, very different world.
I know, and thank goodness, right? And we see, how can people, from your lens, how can people move through the chaos and stay grounded and continue healing right now? Because while, yes, that 2030, it's going to be a definite thing for us to be experiencing more galactic connection and a completely different world, we're still experiencing right now the crumbling, the chaos, the dismantling of everything. What is your suggestion for people on how to rise above all of that and stay attuned to their highest frequency?
Yeah, so a couple of things with that, Marissa, is one, you have to realize, and I know that you do, but listeners, they have to realize that the Earth is splitting effectively into two Earths, right? So there is this beautiful, you've probably heard the analogy before, there's this beautiful Earth version that is going towards 5D and Ascension. There is this other Earth that is 3D related for the people who still have things to work through. Now, through that section, like, so you can imagine that the two Earths are joined like that. That cross section there, that's why you see a lot of relationships breaking down, is because some of those people, so used to saying beings, so some of those people are on this ascension journey, and the other people are still dealing with their issues and have no thoughts about it, no awareness of it. They're just, So that's where you see that sort of breaking down. What you also see is the negative timeline. We're at a different vantage point because the split is happening so profoundly that we're at a vantage point where we can see the negative timeline, right?
Yeah.
Everyone can see it. It's very obvious. It's right in your face.
Yeah.
But we're at a vantage point where we can see it without being in it. You can see it, so you can see in that moment what you don't prefer. And then you can send love, you can send compassion, without being in it, without being that sympathetic that you are part of the issue. You know what I mean? You can have absolute empathy, but going into it to be in it where it consumes you, then that's putting you on the wrong timeline.
Yeah.
But the fact that you have an awareness of that, and a lot of people have that awareness of that now, means that in those moments you get to make that choice.
Yeah. It's always our choice. And I think that too, is a beautiful
And those things are going to resonate a lot less. Those issues that are coming, constantly, seems to be constantly now,
Yeah.
you know, that's going to happen a lot less. So this is just the final purge.
Yes. And it's, we don't have to get wrapped up in everything. We can, right?
Yeah.
We can see it from a distance, acknowledge that it's occurring, stay neutral, and hold the vision of what we know can occur on this planet, which is solutions, you know, peace, love, growth, alien disclosure.
Yeah, absolutely. There are people in this world that are there to fight the fires. And that, you know, they can hopefully, because there's a lot of stuff happening at once, hopefully that gets rectified, particularly in your side of the world, that I can watch from a vantage point without being in it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't read the news. That's why, you know, nobody should. You know, we've all worked that out by now. But, you know, that's what, like, I had my, I don't know, somebody say, oh, it's crazy, all this stuff that was happening in was the Middle East or somewhere like that. It was a particular country. And I'm like, yeah, it is crazy, but it was making her feel really angry and really sad and really depressed about it, right? She can't help anyone. All she's doing is becoming that victim in that moment. So if she has the power to help, then absolutely. If she has the power to raise awareness, absolutely. But sitting there feeling like just demoralizing about it, just feeling, you know, helpless and lonely, and it's just pulling her vibration down where she's attracting more of that stuff. So
Exactly.
We just need to keep switching timelines till we don't have it. And that's what raising the vibration is for.
Yeah, and stay mindful, stay mindful. Yeah, I know in the U.S., it feels like everywhere I go, everyone's talking about all that's occurring. And, you know, it's easy for me to tune out, but there are some loved ones in my life where they just get so wrapped up, and it's like, oh my gosh, just rise above. You can do this. We don't have to, like, yes, it's happening on our soil, but it doesn't mean it's happening in our timeline. Like you've been saying.
I had somebody commented on one of my healing videos, saying, I'll follow you if you either do support Trump or don't support Trump. I can't remember which one it was. My response was, I don't have a horse in the race. I'm Australian. And they commented saying, that's enough for me.
Something ridiculous.
That's enough for me, unfollowing or something like that. I'm like, oh, that tells me volumes just in that response. Like, what?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? I have no idea where you are.
Yeah. But I really, on the other side of the world, I don't have a horse in the race, and I never will.
Yeah.
So
and I personally, I don't have that either. We don't need to.
And it's okay to be constantly working on yourself and bettering yourself without feeling like you're being selfish, you know?
I love that you're mentioning this. Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you cannot give from an empty cup. So you should be, you know, blindly working on yourself, because that's raising your vibration. You're going to attract people, places and things, situations that are aligned with that vibration. You know, if you want to, you know, be the change that you wish to see in the world, you know,
simply put,
it starts with you.
Exactly.
All aligned people, you better be aligned.
Yourself. You know? Yeah. It starts with you. It really does start with you. And I say that all the time, like, you getting angry about what you're seeing and then taking your anger out on someone else is doing nothing to change the current environment. You have to notice that you're angry and then maybe heal that, or just try to stay more neutral. And then like, if you focus on yourself, that will actually make far more change in the world than you like constantly surveying a problem and just festering and allowing that to make you so sick, physically sick.
Yes, absolutely, physically sick. And the people around you physically sick, because it's all energy, you know, so they're taking on your energy just as much as you're taking on theirs. So that's why it's so important to lead by example. Stand in your power, be the change.
Yes. And if you are aligned and your frequency is high, you stand in a crowd of hundreds of people, your frequency is just rolling off of you and touching those other people and helping them. Like, that is why the term starseed, right? Very common term now. But it's very true. That is how the galactics are helping us. They have sent their family here to Earth to be that change, to be that ripple through a human experience, and to really help us ascend and grow and expand into experiencing peace in the universe and on the planet.
Absolutely. Look, I often say to my clients that when I want to take them from, how you walk into a room and you're like, oh, it's got a bad vibe,
Yeah.
and then you walk out of there feeling low, you're feeling sick,
Yeah.
Vibe is vibration. They don't realize that. It's literally low vibration, and it just brings down your vibration. So I want to take them from walking into the room and feeling low when they leave to walking into the room and changing the vibration of the room. And that's how that's how you know that you are in alignment, that you are making the positive change, that you are standing in your power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rising above.
It doesn't even affect you. It can't touch you.
Correct. Yeah.
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 And one last question that kind of goes along with this. I saw that you have an ebook on spiritual protection. And so a lot of viewers that listen, they are, spiritually, they're moving through an awakening. They are diving into the spiritual realm. They may have been here for a while. They might be new. We have an array of listeners here. But as far as spiritual protection goes, for someone that might be new to specifically connecting with galactic beings, what is one piece of advice that you would give to just maintain your vibration and maintain that spiritual protection aspect, that piece of things? I know that's a hard question.
Yeah,
because there's so much.
It's not one piece of information. No. I mean, the book outlines it, but in regards to you've asked numerous things. One is raising vibration, and one is spiritual protection, and they don't always go hand in hand, right? So, but in regards to answer your question about raising vibration, doing things like meditating, staying present, have a spiritual routine. Eating right, drinking clean water, those sorts of things are all going to raise your vibration. Working on yourself, doing energy healings, put yourself first in regards to that. Those sorts of things will raise your vibration. Surround yourself with higher vibrational people. Get off your phones. Those sorts of things. Stop watching the news. There you go. Yeah. There's lots of things there. Write them all down if you want. But
take notes, guys.
Yeah. So in regards to how can you protect yourself spiritually, right?
Yeah, when channeling. Yeah.
Yeah, when channeling, or just in general. Yeah. So something simple that you can do. And once again, this is brings us back to visualization. So, and you probably do this too, and you probably taught people to do it, but it is literally surrounding yourself in an energetic bubble that is impenetrable. Right? You imagine it being impenetrable, only allowing energies in of high vibrational ilk. So that's one thing that you can do just to help. But you need to keep doing that bubble each day, or sometimes numerous times a day. If you're an empath, sometimes numerous times a day. So I'll tell you one thing that I do constantly and before every session, right? Word for word, this is what I do. I told you I work with different beings, right?
Yeah.
Well, I also work with elementals. And in this case, I call upon the gnomes, right? My good friends, the gnomes. Yeah. To bring down, and this was all their idea, but to bring down this golden pyramid of protective light to completely encase my energetic field, or in this case, our energetic field, or whoever we're working with, with the direct intention of only allowing energies in of the highest love, light, truth, and compassion. All other energies currently within or around this sacred space are to be immediately destroyed, blocked, banished, never to return across all timelines and dimensions. So be it, and so it is. It is done. It is done. It is done. So you can see the way that I said it is borderline forceful. It is standing in my power. It is declaring it because I'm the boss. And that's the way that everybody else should be doing it. And then after that, you can say things like, I am free, I am sovereign, I'm untouchable, I'm powerful. And as long as you believe all that, then you really are.
Yeah. And so it is. Yeah.
And so it is.
Yes. I love hearing someone else's like spiritual prayer, because I have my own like prayers that I go through every time, and it's really like word for word each time, and it creates that sacred container that's very important when tapping in. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I know it firsthand. I've had issues in the past with negatively orientated, is that a word? Yeah. Oriented, beings that come out of nowhere basically, and I had to deal with that, but dealt with it within 24 hours. Like, it's no big deal. Because like I said, I've never been scared of anything like that. So nor should anyone. Really. As long as you're standing in your power, you've got nothing to worry about. As long as your vibration is raised, as long as you're creating those declarations and things like that, you got nothing to worry about. We're on this timeline where we shouldn't have too much to do with them for much longer anyway. We're
becoming not untouchable, but we like the vibration is raising so much so that they can no longer exist or interact.
So to get to the fifth dimension, we have to go through the fourth, and the fourth is not so much fun, because that's where those sorts of things reside,
hang out,
lurk, but just stand in your power, everyone. And community is really important as well. So that's why I created my Patreon, which is called Activation Station. Because when I was going through my awakening, I was alone. I didn't have anyone to speak to. Like, it happens so often because we're the black sheep,
Yes.
So I never wanted that to happen to anyone else, because especially these days when you've got Google and you've got all the AI language models, that when people can ask questions of those, and they're just going to get echo chamber answers back. And they could go down some pretty big rabbit holes and therefore lower vibration and align with those sorts of timelines and bring in more of that. And it's a very slippery slope that is hard to get out of. So I created Activation Station, which has got its own chat room for people that have gone through that awakening or are going through it and just need someone to speak to, just need people to I call them a soul family, because and I'll give you an example. I was at lunch with my partner, who's an ancestral healer. Her name's Charlotte. She's incredible. Cool. Anyway, I was at lunch with her, and I just had this wave of energy that dropped me. It almost felt like I was having a stroke, like it got straight into my head, and I just started to freeze. Right. Now, I was about 300 meters from a hospital. I could have just walked in there, right? Oh, okay. And if I'd have walked in there, they would have done all these sorts of tests and given me all these sorts of pills and diagnosed me with all these sorts of conditions, right? But what I did is I jumped on my Patreon and I said, did anyone else feel that? And about 10 of them messaged going, around the head, all coming through. Yeah.
Wow.
It felt weird, don't know what happened. And in that moment, I knew that I was not broken, that it was just, energy from the sun, or light codes, whatever, activations,
solar
all
flares.
That stuff, solar flares, all that sort of stuff. Just to know that you're not broken, you're not alone, is that changed the trajectory. That could change someone's whole life, Yeah. So that's how important it is to me. So in my Patreon has got a library of healings, of activations, of astral travel meditations, and learning to see auras, and all this sort of cool stuff. So you can go to Dragon Realm. So
which is so fun.
It's just so fun. That's why I created. Community is so important.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were never meant to walk alone. Maybe for moments along our journey, but never in totality.
Exactly. And that's why I'm so grateful for you, Marissa. You do some really important things in the world, and
thank you.
And we see you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been so lovely to connect with you, Jai, and thank you so much for all your wisdom and knowledge and fun stories. I'm encouraging people, go check out Jai's stuff. Go check out his healings, his sessions, his Patreon. It really is such a great community, and I've been cheering you on from afar, but now right here live. And thank you so much for the work that you do and the connection that you help people feel to themselves.
Oh, it is my absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. JaiBrady.com if you want to check it out. That's where you'll find the Arcturian Energy Hospital this weekend as well.
Beautiful. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Enjoy the Arcturian Energy Hospital if you tune in, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye for now.